welcome back to Finding Your Frequency. I'm Brian Sexton, and I'm joined today by a longtime friend, a man I met years ago at a Rotary Club meeting, Walther Vliegen. How are you, Walther?
Great
to see you.
Yeah. We're aging well.
Well, listen, you better than me. That is a dynamic jacket, my friend. You have always been one of the best dressed men I know.
If it's too much, I can take it off.
No.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
It looks great. You have a certain panache about you. You worked in the hospitality space. I mean, that's putting it mildly. You worked at the very upper echelon, some of the nicest clubs, some of the nicest places. But you're retired now, allegedly.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, I still do a little consulting here and there.
What's a little?
Well, like 6 months back at the plantation.
Okay.
I've done a little helping out restaurants, individual B&Bs in Europe, actually.
Yeah.
Some good friends of mine ask me, okay.
You have friends all over the world. I get that.
And I still go back to Europe 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
As much as I can.
Yeah.
And that's good. A highlight last year was I participated in the Saturday race of the Paris-Roubaix on the cobblestones, 140 kilometers. Something really
And
proud
how
of.
was that?
That was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rattle your teeth? When you say compete, you're talking about bike racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Cannondale has a lefty shock up front, so it was
Okay.
the pounding was a little less. Pounding with a lowercase p.
Right.
You know, yeah.
So retirement is just sort of a word. It doesn't really apply to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's important during retirement to stay really active and catch up on things.
Did you tell me you were just over in Sewanee for the bike fest?
Yeah.
And how was that?
That was great. We biked about close to 200 kilometers.
Yeah.
That sounds more. If it's
Like, what, about 160 miles in my math?
Yeah. And then we did paddling on the Itchduckney. The water is so incredibly clear.
Yeah.
And they protect the environment. You cannot even take a bottle of water on that river.
Thank goodness.
Afraid that you would spill. That's really good.
Yeah.
And the water table was low. Of course, with the rain in the forecast now, it'll probably fill up a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
The hospitality industry. With these things, the world changes so fast.
Yeah.
But great hospitality, it hasn't really changed, has it?
It hasn't really changed. Although, if we take at the various hotels, the limited service hotels became even more limited. You have to do like everything yourself. They will not do
It's kind of like flying on Southwest Airlines, right?
Or Spirit, even worse. Yeah. However, the 5-star hotels, the 5-star or the 7-star clubs like the Plantation and Marshland, all the better clubs, they are absolutely obliged to keep up their high standards because the members, it's not like they reduce the dues.
Right.
The dues keep going up.
You expect it.
Expectation of, and that's really fun because we, one of the things that I'm really proud of, that we recruited Zach Daughtry. He was at a really club in Colorado and came here as a noted restaurant chef, and he is absolutely making a huge difference at the plantation.
You just finished a big renovation at the plantation, right?
Yeah.
And how was that?
Well, it was the second renovation. The first renovation we did in 07 and 08, in the middle of the start of the housing crisis. That was good timing on our part.
Exactly, right.
And that was the beach club and the clubhouse. It was more of I would say, a Spanish flair to the renovation. Now it's very, very modern, but not stark. A warm modern that they've done. A fantastic interior design. Members were engaged. Some of the same team members that we had on the board as were involved back in the day.
Are you consulting in North Florida anywhere, or are you primarily in Europe these days?
I would try to avoid much travel to do the consulting in North Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is where you want to be consulting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are a lot of places that could use the Walther touch.
True, but then one of the commitments too was to Lori and my wife said, okay, when I retire, not all this travel anymore because then I still am not home enough to enjoy what,
Tell me a story. Take me to one of the world's great clubs, great hotels that you worked at.
Okay. One of the better stories is that when I teach hospitality class at App State in Boone, because they invited me.
Appalachian State's a great place.
Yeah, and what a great football team. But so they had a hospitality and marketing school from which we, of course, got all their employees to work the mountain resort in the summertime. But one of the greater stories that I've told them is how we were able to survive after 9/11. I was managing VP GM of Amelia Island Plantation, 1,000 rooms, 3 golf courses, had a brand new, retail village, a spa, everything. All that money was put out to have an infrastructure that would indeed handle all that.
Right.
But so 911, nobody was traveling. Meeting planners were canceling meetings left and right. We had to give deposits back, which is, on a, it was a
Yeah.
drain on cash. And so we had a magnificent plan where Jack Heelan, I mean, a super inspiring guy, the president of the Amelia Iron Company, he said, hey guys, why don't we take a measurement, strong measure together and take a 20% wage reduction. We'll do reduced work week for the hourly employees. We'll do all kinds of things. And there was our retail person by the name Ron Cambridge. He came up with the idea, why don't we sell against all odds, all rooms for $99? And that was the aha moment because people couldn't travel, nobody was flying. However, the people from Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Daytona, they could go up to Amelia.
And enjoy it.
And we could give them bikes, beach chairs. That was all stuff paid. There was no cost for that. So that really put us on the market. There's plenty of resorts who went belly up. Yeah. I mean, Homestead, Greenbrier almost went belly up, and a number of places and we were able to so strong survive. And we were, it made us really proud because we didn't have to lay off any employees. That's, now the payroll was reduced, of course, by 20%, but all people were able to keep the benefits in place. So that was a really strong and very, very proud moment.
So if I'm inviting you out to dinner, where are we going?
We would, that's a really good question.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
I would fly us to Brussels.
Okay.
Comme chez soi.
Comme chez soi.
Yeah, that is like at home.
Yeah.
Where they have, Chateau d'Yquem, like 1821 in the basement, and the chef or the owner will eagerly take you to the basement and show you some of these wines. And it's a fabulous restaurant. They have had their 3 stars probably, I don't know, since 1950 or something.
Notice, he comes up with Brussels and Comme chez soi?
Yeah, Comme chez soi.
When I said I'm inviting you, meaning I'm paying for it.
Well, you're just paying for the dinner. I would fly us over.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
that'd be fair.
Okay.
How about in North Florida? If I say, hey, let's go have dinner, where do you suggest? Because I'm sure most of our people will write Comme chez soi down, but maybe take this recommendation a little stronger.
Yeah, I like the restaurants here locally. The name escapes me now, of course. The French name escapes me right now, but I'll come up with it in a second. But Madeira's great.
Oh, Madeira's outstanding.
Lori and I now locally, we love to go to the Aqua Grill.
Oh yeah.
Carrie
Hart's phenomenal place. Yeah. And the fact that everybody knows Carrie Hart when you say the Aqua Grill tells the whole story.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. A couple questions here for you. Ready? Everybody has a defining moment in life. What was yours?
I think marrying and becoming a little more seriously.
Okay. Because
I tend to take things maybe a little lightly. Yeah. That doesn't mean that Lori makes me take everything seriously. Right. But however, a better focus. I think marriage and kids really makes you a better person.
Okay. How about a significant obstacle that you overcame?
I think I used to be the worst procrastinator because I said, okay, maybe if I delay it, then there's more pressure to do it right. And sometimes you're not ready on time.
Yeah.
And I think also what I've learned mostly in the hotel business and the club is you have to be really, you cannot be an administrator. You have to be in the marketplace. You have to be where the clients are, where the employees are. So I've really learned to have frequent meetings, impromptu meetings, and just making sure that I know how's the staff doing, the managers doing, how are the guests doing. Right. At Amelia, we would tell people, if you're MOD, manager on duty, I don't want you in the office. I want you out there in the marketplace and see how the members are, see how the hotel guests are enjoying their check-in, if they're happy at checkout. If babies are crying leaving Disney, they've had a good time because they're good and tired. So. Yeah. But that was always important to really be very, very close to your product and your service.
Final thought, and this one is simple. You have been very successful in your career. Can you share a tip, something, a piece of advice someone gave you with our audience that maybe directs someone else?
I think it is important. If you like your vocation, stay in it. Don't, because you happen to have a job that's not going so well, don't all of a sudden veer off and do something completely else. Yeah. If people in the hospitality business are getting a little tired, they should maybe, from commercial restaurant, maybe try country clubs or resorts or something, but at least have the mainstream otherwise, you're going to give up all the stuff you've learned in college, and because I would make a terrible banker,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
I would.
Listen, unless I'm talking, I'm not doing what I was designed to do, for sure. Walther, where do people find you?
W Voyages,
W Voyages.
as in WV
Yeah, no, I got it.
and travel.
I got it. W Voyages.
And the website is all right. It needs a little improvement. I picked up a few tips here. and Boss TV, yeah. But
We might not make it to Come Say Swab, but we will find time for a meal sometime
we
soon.
will, absolutely.
I'll hold you to that one.
maybe have dinner at the plantation. Because Zach Daughtry, like I said, is a magnificent chef.
Well, then let's make sure that we do that. Walther, thanks so much for making time.
Thanks. Great.
And we'll see you next time
Yeah,
here on
excellent.
Finding
Great.
Your Frequency.
Thanks.